Okay, if you're ready, we can begin.
Yes, of course.
Brilliant. So this is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System taking place at Ross IELTS Academy. The candidate is Shima Farahani, if I pronounced that right, and the candidate's number is 3680688. The examiner is Samson C's examiner number 443533. Good morning, my name is Samson.
And good morning, my name is Shima.
All right, that's brilliant. What is your full name?
My full name is Farahani.
Okay, thank you very much. May I see your identification?
Yes, sure. Here you are.
Thank you very much. Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you.
To have that back. Right now, so in the first part of the exam, I will ask you some personal questions. First, I'd like to ask you about your job. What is your job?
I work for a commercial company and I do administration there, and sometimes I record the financial records, and I check the records of our company, and I check the personality of the staff, and I do whatever our company needed.
Okay, and why did you choose this job?
It was accidentally. My uncle have worked in this company, and he offered me to employ here, and I accepted it happily, and I have worked for about 10 years.
Okay, and do you get on well with your colleagues?
Yes, I have a good connection with them, and we are really happy together, and we have a company in a specific task.
Okay, so let's move on now to talk about art. Are you good at art, would you say?
Unfortunately, I'm not a talent in art, but I love art. One of the reasons I didn't have an opportunity for learning art is I didn't have enough time, because I dedicate my time in my work, and actually I didn't have enough time, but I love art, and I love to visit the masterpiece works in museum or other place.
Okay, so have you ever been to an art gallery?
Yes, I have been I have been in Paris, and I have visited Louvre Museum. That was very interesting, and that was very beautiful place, and it has a masterpiece and very good works from the benefit artist.
Okay, now, do you think children can benefit from going to art galleries?
Of course, yes. I think it's better that we try to bring up our children bring our children out with art, because they can show our emotion and our thought about their environment, about their future purpose, and their painting or some things they create.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of the first part. Let's move on to the next part of the questions here. Right. So, now I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for up to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, I'm going to give you piece of paper here so you can make notes.
Thank you.
And here is your topic. Describe a person you know who speaks a foreign language well. There are your bullet points. So you'll have 1 minute to make notes. Go ahead. Okay, that's the end of the note making. You can start speaking. Go ahead.
Yes. A person I know who speaks a foreign language well is my boss. He graduated from Washington, D.C., and his major field study was economic. And he's very smart and smart and have talent about her proficiency, and he lived in United States. It caused to improving his languages as well, and he also he try to improve himself by reading time newspaper or foreign text, English text, and actually he has an interaction with the English company and commercial company, and it caused he improved himself. Yes.
Okay.
And I well, he used his language proficiency in his connection with the other people.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of the 2 minutes now. Okay, brilliant. Let's move on to the next part. So I'll take back your topic.
Yes.
And your paper. That's great. Thank you very much. So let's move on to the next part. We've been talking about a person who speaks a foreign language very well, and now I'd like to ask you some questions related to this. So first, let's consider language learning. Do you think if it's possible to learn a language perfectly?
Yes. If, in my opinion, if you study English text and you have enough connection with your friend or that they all lived in other country in in other country, you can improve your skill about your English. And I think one of the necessary items to improve your English languages depends on your willpower. If you have a willpower, and continue your goal, you can be success in your aims and your purpose. Actually, I think and the other factor, it can help you to improve and learn your English better, is it depends on your place which you live in. For example, if you live in the United States or United Kingdom, the environment has a benefit effect on your languages, and it can help you completely to expert yourself as better. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So who do you think learns a language faster, children or adults?
Definitely children, because the children have a good talent about learning some things better than adults, because they are not busy. They are and they have a they curious about their environment and about their family, or about their playmate. They can also learn some things more than adult, and they are we can teach them well, because they are in the age which can learn perfectly.
Right, okay. So what benefits for one's career does knowledge of foreign languages bring?
Please come again.
Okay, so what benefits in one's career does knowledge of a foreign language bring to them?
Yeah. The foreign language helps them to have a connection with the other, and the foreign language expand their world and open the new spotlight in their life, and they can experience a new opportunity in their life, and they eager to obtain some things which is benefit for their future.
Okay, thanks very much. That is the end of the speaking test. So,
Okay.
how do you feel?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, wait.
I was stressed.
You were stressed? Oh,
Yes.
gosh, yeah, that happens all the time. So give me a second here. I'm just going to, add up your band score.
Silver and VIP. This package is comprised of the offline educational videos for the 4 skills, including listening, reading, writing, and speaking. In these videos, you will learn all the necessary techniques that you will need to apply for the IELTS exam. Apart from the educational videos, you will have full access to enormous resources to practice the strategies that you learn. Once you finish your course, you will have 2 and 4 online mock tests of speaking, along with comprehensive feedback under the same conditions in Silver and VIP courses, respectively. Also, you can send us your writings to be checked out and receive comprehensive feedback on those. You will also have 60 3-level British-based podcasts produced by the Academy, not only to help you improve your listening, but also to enhance your vocabulary range and pronunciation. In addition to all the mentioned resources, you will be provided with useful grammar and collocation files to get your target score with a better level of knowledge. Join us and become our next successful candidate.
We're looking at an overall band score of 5.5. So that's not too bad. I mean, you can definitely improve that. You can increase one band score, especially without all this stress. So,
Yes.
that can definitely be achieved. So we're going to go over now. We're going to talk about what you did and what you can do to improve.
Yes.
So let's start with your fluency and coherence. So that's your flow of speech. But I liked the way you actually you kept your flow of speech. You didn't go too fast or too slow. I mean that provides good concentration. So keep that. The problems that we do have is the fillers. We had lots of ums and ahs, and this, sometimes when it happens just a couple of times, that's okay. Maybe you're looking for some idea or content, but if it happens frequently, if it happens a lot, then the examiner will think, okay, this person is hesitating, with the language a little bit. So, well, the best thing to do, maybe use some linking words. I would also say, speaking of which, I also would like to point out, there's many ways you can do that to fill in those little fillers of when you're talking, trying to keep the flow of speech. The good thing is that you mostly understood the questions. I don't think you had problems understanding the questions, but definitely, with the way you continued, you could definitely use some more fillers and just to keep the flow of speech, and maybe work on maybe raising your voice a little bit to reduce the stress. So that really hurt. We'll talk about the intonation more actually in a second. So definitely with fluency and coherence, it's mostly the fillers. It's you finding that, the next sentence and keeping the flow of speech, even though you did very well, I think. And another thing I'd like to mention is that what also will mark you down is if you stop in the middle of part 2, you have to talk for up to 2 minutes. Yeah. And there's many ways you can work on that, and especially if you're talking about the topic, don't think you have to stay in that topic. If you've covered all your bullet points and you've answered the question, go on to talk about something else. You can go off topic. You don't have to be, as long as you've answered the question and there's been enough relation to it and cover the bullet points, go off topic. And you can even lie, because IELTS speaking is not based on facts. They're not going to check if your story is true or false. You can, if it's just answering the question, go off topic as well, lie if you have to, but make sure you don't stop when you're talking for 2 minutes. And that's another thing. That's another problem we had. That's why your band score came down. It's because of you spoke for about 1 minute and 35 seconds. In many IELTS speaking practice sessions, they tell you to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. It actually means speak for 2 minutes. That's something to keep in mind. Okay, so let's talk now about the lexical resource. So that's vocabulary. I didn't have too much problem. I didn't have many problems with your vocabulary. I think you managed to express enough words to portray what you wanted to say and talk about the subjects, but in relation. Yes. So I don't think they were misplaced. It wasn't the vocabulary that was a problem in particular. Maybe you could add to it and make it a little bit more complex, because it was simple a lot of the time. But you can start going for more complex words, just to get you going off that self-repetition. You had some self-corrections and self-repetition using the same words again. So you could do that. You could expand on your vocabulary to avoid the self-repetition. Use other words, and it helps you paraphrase, and that shows the examiner that you can actually work around different structures of sentences and different words and it just basically shows off how wider your language can be. It has a stronger range. So maybe work on that. Grammatical range and accuracy. Now, this is where I did have quite, some problems here. When you were talking about art, I think it was in part 1, you said, I'm not talented. You can say, I don't think I'm very talented. So you can definitely expand on your sentences, make them longer, and they obviously avoid the errors, like I'm not talented. Or you can make your sentences longer, saying, I wouldn't consider myself a talented person. So if you work around those, build on your sentences and structures, and obviously make sure you're not making grammatical errors, then you can really improve in this part. So you said he try. That was like you were talking about the past. He try. I think you were trying to say that he tried.
Tries.
He tries.
Tried.
Or if you're talking about the present tense, it's going to be he try.
Yes.
He genuinely tries. Or if it's in the past, then he tried. So
Yes.
make sure the past, present, and future tense is correct. Most of them, lots of it was, but there were a few things, and that was one of them. So make sure you don't have these errors.
So do you think some of the mistakes is related to stress?
It is, yes, they are. With you, some of them are language related. If you can improve on that, also you can improve on your stress levels. Definitely, the speed is fine with you, because you're not rushing, which is good. What you need to do now is speak up a little bit more, speak louder, and maybe warm up and listen to podcasts in English before your test day, before the speaking test, and that will definitely help you improve and get your brain into English mode, thinking and speaking in English. Let's now just quickly go on to pronunciation. This is very important for you. I think maybe even more than the stress. Pronunciation, intonation. It was good at times, but you kind of kept the same sort of monotone a lot of the time, because English is a stress-related language. So make sure you can change the stress. Maybe listen to native speakers and their sentences. Try the shadowing technique. So listen to a native speaker. Listen to their words, how they're wording and how they're stressing the words, and then copy it. Copy in the way that they're speaking. I'm not saying to copy a particular accent. It's the way of the stress of the words. There were some mispronunciations here. You had visit instead of visit. You had wary instead of very. And you had I think economics. That would have been the subject that they're studying. So that was another little error on the end. Make sure you finish your word. That will help your pronunciation. So he studied economics. So it's economics, the S on the end. And then you said success instead of success. So make sure it's all about the stress and pronouncing these words. And a couple of times you said adults instead of adults. I think the third time you corrected it and you realized that you were mispronouncing it, but it happened a few times. So with your situation, again, yes, work around warming your mind up in English and thinking and speaking in English. But most importantly, I'd say out of all this, with all these techniques that I've told you, work on them. Pronunciation, definitely work on the pronunciation of these words. This is the part where the examiner will start, picking on you, like I have, unfortunately. So, no, you'll be all right. Just you can increase one band score. Just follow these techniques, and you'll see a big difference. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, thank you very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I hope this was helpful, and good
Me
luck
too.
with everything.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.